Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. Two losses in a row in two different competitions. We definitely don't want to make that three losses in a row in three different competitions. Now, we picked up a very good result against Sevilla last time to make it 2 wins out of three to put us top of the group. If we win this game, we put ourselves in a very, very good position. I actually think if we win this and the other game maybe ends in a draw, we're pretty much through. All we need to do is beat Lons at home and you've qualified top of the table. And that is exactly what I wanted. I wanted us to go to the last game against PSV having already qualified, and if it's possible, having already qualified top of the group, because I know that game will be hard. And that December we'll have Liverpool, we'll have Aston Villa, so we don't really. Hopefully, we can rest players for that PSV game. It's resting players as kind of cost us recently, like against West Ham, but you know what I mean. That will be a dead rubber game if we beat both Sevilla and Lons. Our first home game of this Champions League campaign went quite well. We beat PSV by 4-0. Jesus was brilliant in that game. The likes of Odegaard, Trossard were all brilliant in that game. Last time against Sevilla, we won at their place. Our man of the match from that game, Gabriel Jesus, he will not be playing in this one. We'll have to find a different way to score the goals, to create the chances against Sevilla this time round. The last three games they've played since we played them, they've played 2 games in the league. In La Liga, they drew 2-2 with Cadiz, and they also drew 1-1 with Celta Vigo recently. And I think they also had a cup game where they won 3-0. I think that's the Copa del Rey. So they've not really won any league games since we played them. And for us as well, we've picked up 2 defeats, including one in the league since we've played them. So yes, we also won 5-0 against Sheffield United. So we are both now going into this game like having won back-to-back big games or anything like that. Not at all. But hopefully we can make it back-to-back Champions League wins, because that will put us in a very, very good position. So Arsenal against Sevilla. Last time out, we scored 2 goals. Could have been 3 if Martinelli scored the 1-on-1. Maybe it could have even been 4 if Odegaard scored the open goal as well. But we have to bounce back from the last 2 games. Obviously, the Newcastle game did not go according to how we wanted it to go. Yes, the goal should have been disallowed, but as I've always been saying since that game, we also didn't deserve to win because we didn't really create any chances at all. And against West Ham, we also lost comfortably. Odegaard came on and scored later on in the game. We also didn't really create a lot in that match. I did see us start that last year by December of 2022. I think 5 of our players had created 20-plus chances. Xhaka, Odegaard, Martinelli, Saka, and I think it was Jesus. All of them had created 20-plus chances. I think this is when we are struggling in terms of that. But hopefully against this Sevilla team, at home, we can create as many chances as we did against PSV at home as well. Let's hope it can be the same. If we win this game, we put ourselves in a very good position. Next up in the league, we have Burnley. That could easily be 2 wins in a row, and then we go into the international break in a good mood, because right now the Arsenal fan base and everything going on is not good. We are still devastated after that goal was allowed. We're still devastated that players like Partey and Odegaard have picked up injuries, and Jesus as well. We don't know who's going to play in midfield. A few players are out of form as well. We're not creating as many chances as we want. Thank goodness we had that Sheffield game where we scored a bunch of goals, because if we played another team that weekend, maybe drew 0-0 or something, it would have been even more disastrous. So thank goodness we at least picked up 3 points there, and we're still in the top 4. Also in the Premier League on Sunday, things could have been worse, but Aston Villa lost and Liverpool drew their game. Despite many people expecting them to win their games, we would have been 5th in the Premier League. So things went our way on that Sunday. Let's hope things go our way in the Champions League as well. So which kind of lineup will Arteta go for? Like, I've taken a look at this lineup yesterday, the players that we have available and the players we have missing. It's not ideal. We are missing Jesus. You're missing Smith-Rowe. You're not sure about Odegaard, so I'm not going to include him in this lineup video. We're obviously missing Thomas Partey, I mentioned him. We are missing several players. So in terms of the Champions League squad, we won't even have enough subs to have on the bench because of the injuries that we have. But which lineup will I go for if I was a manager? Would I go for? So let's start. My goalkeeper, David Dreyer. I would stick with David Dreyer. I was thinking about bringing back Ramsdale. I don't necessarily think both of them like bad goalkeepers. They people are making it look like. I actually do think both of them are good goalkeepers. And maybe a few patchy or a few mistakes here and there. Confidence is a bit low a few of our players. But I think I will start in this one. I mean, I wouldn't mind if Ramsdale starts. I really want him to get at least 1 or 2 Champions League games. Is one of the reasons why we are here. But I would start with Dre in this one. Back 4. Ben White is available, Saliba is available, Gabriel, Tomiyasu, Zinchenko, Kivio. Our defense is stable, not too many injuries as the midfield players and the forward players. So this is the back 4 I would go for. Zinchenko, Gabriel, Saliba, and Ben White. Now, we've not created a lot of chances recently. Let me start with Zinchenko. We've not created a lot of chances recently. And without Odegaard on the pitch, we've seen if Saka doesn't perform as well and Odegaard is not on the pitch, we're in a bit of a problem. Because if the other team decides to mark out Martinelli from the game as well, we will not create any chances. So we have to find a different way. We have to tackle that with different areas, like find different attacking areas, different player positions where we can attack from. Because yes, we can go to Tomiyasu on the left side, but I think Zinchenko is better attacking wise, and I think we have to compensate for missing out if Odegaard doesn't play. If Odegaard starts, if he's fit to start, if he's like 90% start, 95% fit to start, then I would go for him in this one and probably not play him in the Burnley one. I don't know how it's going to work out, but if he's not there, then you're going to have to compensate for not having a lot of creativity. So with that said, we have to like go with like 3-4 attacking players in different positions, forgetting the wingers. The wingers not included in that. So I would go with Zinchenko for that purpose. Hopefully he can go forward and he can not make mistakes defensively, and hopefully he can help us create up front. And then the rest of the defense, we know the centre-back Gabriel and Saliba, obviously. And then Ben White starts for me at right back. So that is my defense. So speaking of not creating too many chances up front, I think Jorginho has been okay. He's not been brilliant, but he's been okay. Rice has been playing in the 8. But in this particular game, I am going to go with Declan Rice in midfield as the number 6 to allow us to have 2 different players in front of him, 2 attacking players in front of him, 2 like attack-minded players in front of him. When Rice plays in the 8, like he does so much for us. Like I think we are triple working him. We're giving him a work for 3 players. He's basically coming back and playing as a number 6. We're also depending on him to like carry the ball forward for us and sometimes even create chances for us up front like he did against Sheffield. I think we need to just tell him, listen, we have Zinchenko on that left side. We're going to have 2 number 10s. Just stay in the midfield for us and defend for us. And then let the other players go forward and do their thing. So I would start with Declan Rice in midfield, and then in front of him, I would go with 2 number 10s. That is Fabio Vieira and Trossard. Obviously, this is if Odegaard is not there. If Odegaard is there, then I don't mind Jorginho, Odegaard, and Rice. But I would start with Trossard in midfield. He played really well in that position in preseason, but you haven't really seen him playing that in the league, or even in the Champions League this season. He hasn't started a lot, so I would like to see him starting in this one. The crosses sometimes, the creativity from midfield can help us, and he's also not scared of taking a shot from outside the box. Left foot, right foot, he can whip it in from that position. So I would start with him, and then hopefully Fabio Vieira is most of the time he's come from the bench and helped us getting goals, winning penalties for us, getting assists. So hopefully not having Odegaard, this compensates for not having Odegaard, and if Saka and Martinelli are marked out of the game, hopefully that doesn't happen again. Zinchenko's there, Trossard is there, Fabio Vieira is there. Hopefully those 3 players can take the bulk of the creativity if the wingers are out of the game. But I'm hoping the wingers are not out of the game again, because that would be a worry if both of them are out of the game as well in terms of not being involved in the game. Like even against Sheffield United when you won 5-0, didn't really get a lot of did we even get any attacking return from them? I don't think so. So that becomes a problem as well. I think Rice assisted Nketiah, Smith assisted Nketiah that day. 2 were corner kicks and 1 was a penalty. So we need Saka and Martinelli more involved. But Trossard, Fabio Vieira, and Zinchenko will also compensate for that. And then Gabriel, Saliba, Ben White, and Rice just do the defensive work. Up front, this is what I'd go for. I'd go with Saka on the right, Martinelli on the left, and Havertz up front. So I really want to see Havertz in the number 9. I think we've seen him once there against Man City in the Community Shield. I need to see him there again. If it doesn't work, then we know it doesn't work, like the Chelsea fans would say when he was playing for Chelsea. But let's try him there. I want to see him in the forward position. Many people have said in the midfield, it doesn't work out. But although he still puts in tackles and all that in midfield, I think in terms of defensive work, Havertz does more than Trossard. But I want to see him there. With this team, it can also rotate. Trossard can go forward for a bit. Havertz can come to the number 10. Fabio can go to the 8. You know what I mean? Like it can like switch throughout. So I hope that will compensate not having Jesus and Odegaard in the team. So Raya, Zinchenko, Gabriel, Saliba, Ben White, Rice, Trossard, Vieira, Martinelli, Saka, and Havertz. So obviously, if you need some more players on the bench and you feel like this you're not really happy with this particular starting lineup, obviously you can go with Tomiyasu instead of Zinchenko. If you prefer that, you can obviously start with Jorginho if you prefer, and stick Rice in the 8 if you want more defensive solidity. You could also just maybe put Trossard on the left and bench Martinelli and bring him on later. But Martinelli got like 2 or 3 very good chances, one-on-one chances against Sevilla last time out. So hopefully we can use that pace. Now with that squad and with Partey potentially missing, or Partey definitely missing, Odegaard potentially missing, and a few other players missing as well. We already know about Timber, about Smith Rowe. Our bench will not be as strong. We won't even have 12 players on the bench. We'll have less than that. So this is the bench. Ramsdale, Karl-Heinz, 2 goalkeepers. Kivio, Tomiyasu, defenders, Cedric and Elneny as well. Jorginho, Nelson, Ketty, and the youngster Souza in the Champions League squad, so we don't really have anyone else. The likes of Nwaneri are not in the Champions League squad, unfortunately. So as you can see, the bench is not as strong. If you want the bench maybe to be stronger, then you can maybe start in Kate instead of Trossard, and then have the option of bringing in Trossard and Nelson. But hey, start with this team and get the job done. That is what I'm hoping for. Start with that team, get the job done like we did against PSV, get 2 or 3 goals, and then with Burnley on the weekend, you can tell Martinelli, hey, come off, let's give Nelson the second half. You can tell Saka rest for this one. Let's give I don't know, let's give bring on Ketia. You can even take off Declan Rice and bring on Jorginho and Elneny if you have a comfortable lead. Maybe even Ben White for Cedric or something like that. So hopefully we get the job done. My prediction for this game, I think you're going to get the goals. In this one, like we did against PSV, I think we might concede. So we'll go for Arsenal 3, Sevilla 1. I'm going to go for Havertz to score this time. If he starts in that position, I think he will score. But if he comes off the bench, I'm not sure. But I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for Havertz to score. I'm going to go for Saka to score. And I'm going to go for Martinelli to score. I think Martinelli did play really well against Sevilla last time out, so hopefully can get similar chances in this game, even though Jesus and Odegaard are not that there this time around. So my prediction, 3-1 to Arsenal. It would be a big win that will take us to 9 points, and all we need to do is to beat Lens at home, and we are through top of the table. Let me know your prediction. Let me know what your starting lineup would be. Would you be happy with that starting lineup, or do you think it's too attacking? Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.